Hi, it's Steve Riley. Welcome to this episode of Great Practice, Great Life. I first want to thank you for showing up to do the work. There are some days where no matter what you tell yourself, it doesn't feel like a great life and it doesn't feel like a great practice. It just feels like a slog. So I just want to encourage you, every step forward today, no matter how small, is still a step towards your greatness. Some days building a great life and a great practice doesn't feel so great. But it's in these moments of you showing up, doing the work, putting in the repetitions that your strength is forward. Keep showing up because every effort counts. You are creating something extraordinary, and that is ultimately what your great life looks like. So the days when you just don't feel like taking that step forward, take the step. We're here to support you. The whole Atticus community is here to help you build a great practice, a great life. So thanks for showing up today. Thanks for taking the effort. Thanks for taking the step. Because together we're going to work in a collaborative way to help you build what you want. Today is going to be a unique episode. It's just going to be you and me, and we're going to talk about helping you get unstuck. I'm going to talk to you for a few minutes about brain science, metacognition, how to use your massive brain to help you build that great life that you're envisioning. The challenge is that sometimes we get jammed up in our heads. And this whole conversation between us today is about getting unstuck and breaking that traffic jam in your head. Now, in the legal industry, we may have even more decision fatigue, kind of like doctors, surgeons. We have to make a lot of decisions quickly as it relates to cases. Consequently, we burn up a lot of cognitive capabilities in making case decisions, and we don't leave a lot of decision making over for ourselves. So we actually really enhance and increase the cognitive load in our brain. Now, as a result of that, good decision making starts to deteriorate over time. And little decisions, big decisions can feel overwhelming when they start to accumulate. They can really start to build up. Now, then you put yourself into a position where you go, I really want to have a great life and a great practice, which actually increases the load because you're looking at big goals. You're looking at how do I have a bigger future? How do I have a better practice? How do I have a greater life? How do I make a bigger difference for my family? And these things also increase the cognitive load on your brain. So I want you to think of it like a traffic jam. In your mind, as you're doing whatever you're doing, think about a rotary, a traffic rotary, one of those circle things. There's a lot of them in Europe, a couple of them here in the US, and they're really designed so traffic comes in one way and goes out the other way. But have you ever been to a major one, like at the Arc de Triomphe in Paris? You might have 12 different lanes, people going by honking, blowing horns, etc. There was one outside the Colosseum in Rome that was insane. And there's also little ones around town in a little town called the Villages here in Florida. Some of you might know that place. But ultimately, these are things that are designed to keep the traffic flowing. However, what happens in this rotary if there's too many cars? And imagine if there's trucks, cars, and scooters all trying to get through that rotary together. And we get too many of them in that rotary. And consequently, people are honking each other. There's a traffic jam. Somebody goes at a different angle. Somebody cuts somebody off. There's some hand gestures going on inside that brain of yours. But the problem starts to occur when the traffic gets slower. The stress compounds on all the different drivers. And we have too many things happening at once in that rotary. And everything starts to get overwhelmed and jammed up. So if there's a few cars going through that rotary, no big deal. But however, if you're trying to put trucks, big decisions, cars, medium decisions, scooters, little decisions through that rotary, it can get jammed up. Now, for a normal person, an average person, that may not be a big deal. They'll just feel a little overwhelmed and they'll dial back. However, for you, you're playing a game, and your game called Great Life, Great Practice. So consequently, you are taking on more than the average creature. So I want you to think about this for a few minutes, because as you're trying to grow and you're trying to make better decisions faster and bolder, that means we have to put more traffic into your rotary. So think about this. We're actually creating a situation where you're going to increase the anxiety and stress in your life. I'm going to give you another tip. You want to take this on in handwriting. You don't want to do this with typing or just thinking about it, because thinking about it, all you're going to do is move the traffic in circles. And that's part of the problem. You're thinking way too much about it. What I want to do is use a couple of metacognition techniques. And the metacognition techniques allow you to think about your thinking. That's the core concept of metacognition, allowing you to have self awareness about how you think about things. So the traffic rotary are unmade decisions that are causing you stress and anxiety, causing further procrastination. So we first need to take a time to look at what's going on there, what's happening at the rotary. We need to examine this. So the first thing to do is schedule an unstuck meeting. And that's what I call it, the unstuck meeting with your brain. And I'm going to recommend that you turn everything off, set a timer, and work probably for 15 minutes. And I'll walk through how to do this, but I want you to do this by yourself. I want you to do it with a pen or pencil so you can handwrite. The handwriting is important because it engages the prefrontal cortex, which allows us to quickly problem solving, reduces the anxiety in your brain, and allows you to focus. So handwriting is crucial. I'm going to recommend that you don't type at this moment. I'm going to just recommend handwriting. Step two, organize the traffic by the type of vehicle and how quickly you can make a decision to get that vehicle out of the rotary, out of the traffic jam. Your job is to think like a traffic cop. Now, you can stand in the middle of the rotary and say, okay, you go this way, you go this way, you go this way, but that's not going to solve the traffic jam. What we need to do is have a strategy to look at each vehicle differently and organize a vehicle by type so that we can free up the traffic quickly and efficient.